Laura's gonna come onto the foam roller. I hope all of you have one of these at home. I definitely tell my students to purchase a foam roller. So if you've got one of these, you can do this 30-minute workout on your own. So we're gonna start with the arms extended up toward the ceiling. Make sure you're comfortable with both your head and your tailbone on the roller. Palms face each other. We're gonna start to work through the upper back. Inhale to pull your shoulder blades up and away from the roller, and then exhale, drawing the scapula down, not cramming down, gently. Let's get the breath going here. Inhale and exhale. And 6 more. Getting that scapular mobility, some initial stretching, which might feel nice inadvertently on the neck, for 4 more. And 3 more. Nice, 2 more. Final one, we're gonna end with the shoulders drawing down on either side of the roller. Keep that in place as we start to stretch and reach the arms above head. Inhale, so she's gonna keep her rib cage pulling down, and then exhale, down by her side. So to your best ability, pull your ribs down as you reach to your pinky fingers above head, and exhale, around and down. Good. And 6 more. Beautiful. 5. And 4. 3 more. Reach, reach, reach. Feeling you're always coming back to hug the shoulder blades together. And last one. And the arms down, resting by your side. Next, you're going to bring your focus to the cervical spine. Nodding the chin up and down as if you're massaging your hair on the roller, stretching through some of your deep neck muscles. Chin up and chin down. Always moving cautiously and carefully. These are some fragile vertebrae in the cervical spine. So anything that feels stretchy, good. Limit your range if it doesn't feel great. So we're preparing for an upper ab curl. 3 more. And 2 more. Final one. And chin nodding down. For those of you that have a lot of neck tension, I'll show you adjustment for that. Inhale, draw your low abdominals in and up, and exhale, float the head up by nodding your chin forward. Curl the rib cage. You can place 1 or 2 hands behind your head, and then let the weight of your head rest into the hands as the upper abs do 90% of the work. Belly draws in deep, and then lower down. And we'll try 7 more of those. Laura's choosing to keep her hands behind head. Good choice. Beautiful. And 6. Keeping your head heavy so the neck is soft. And 3. And 2 more, please. Final one, starting to get some heat built in those upper abdominals, I hope. Maybe even the lower abs if you're doing it right. Head down and arms resting down by your hips. Next, we're gonna bring the focus to the pelvis. I love doing both of these on the roller because it gives you a lot of that tactile feedback. It tells you exactly what's going on. She's gonna tilt her pelvic bones backward and forward, flexion into extension, finding the same thing, some deep stretches, maybe in the lumbar spine. Working cautiously here as well, but don't be afraid to go into extension. Fire the abs up as you're doing these 2 movements. 3 more pelvic tilts. I always feel a little longer in the lumbar spine after this one, which is nice. In between her 2 tilts, she's gonna establish what feels like the neutral. Tailbone anchored, a little gap above. Ribs still pulling down, the breath is still full. Inhale, draw your belly in like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans and float the right leg up into tabletop. Imagine what this leg might weigh. Maybe it weighs 16 pounds on average. We'll just say that for grins and giggles. So think of what that would be like to hold a 16-pound object up with just your low tummy. So you're gonna use just a little bit of imagery here. Inhale and exhale, lower that heavy, heavy leg down, belly drawing in, left side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And alternating sides for 7 more. It's very common to tuck the pelvis here because we think that's pulling the belly in. So if you find yourself doing that, just place your pelvic bones back heavy. Just correct it as you go. Neck, shoulders, and jaw nice and soft. Just the torso muscles working. Beautiful. 2 more on each side, I think. 2. Final one on the right. Hold this leg in the air. Now you might have to use your arms a little here. You're gonna definitely pull the low tummy in more to pick the weight of the left leg up as well. We're gonna go into toe taps a little more advanced. Inhale, right toe taps down. Exhale, lift. Left side, 8 on each side. And 7. Good, and 6. This is where my ribs start to pop up. I always struggle pulling them down midway through. Maybe monitor your rib cage. Are you really engaging and pulling the ribs together? And I think 3 more. 3. For those of you looking to up your ante here, I would say let's go right into marching. It's just a double time version. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This can really bring some heat up in the body. And 4 more, tap, and 3 more, tap, and 2 more, tap, and 1 more. Now your abs are probably working. Both of your feet down, 1 at a time. If that's too hard, go ahead. And then from here, we're gonna combine head curl into the knee fold. So this is where you really have to start to dig into your deep inner core, and we're gonna combine on the sling system with it. So your stabilizing foot will become super important. She's gonna press her left foot down nice and firm until her hamstrings help her to anchor that side. Hands behind the head if you need to for support for your neck. Inhale for nothing, and exhale, float up both right leg and the upper abs. This one's hard, you're a brave woman. Inhale, lowering down, being up so high, and exhale, lifting left side, curling up. Let's do 5 on each side, just 4 more. And 4 more. Beautiful, love variation with the arms. And 3 more. Yep, if you need a little more support, that's what you do. 3 and 2 more, please. And 2. And final 1. And last one on the left. Hey, full reflection checked off the list for today. Okay, so she's gonna step down to the floor. We're gonna modify where her rollers, or switch it around, rather. So onto the forearms next on the roller. If you've not done this before, it's a little bit dicey, so I would suggest going down to the knees initially, bringing the arms into a number 11 shape. You can also be on your palms if that feels a little bit less precarious.
You said forearms?
Yeah, forearms is great. And then we'll extend the right leg back, left leg back into a plank. Holding plank for 1 minute. Are you good for that, Laura? Awesome. Belly pulling in. Try not to grip around the low back. Rib cage draws together, and we're gonna smooth out and lengthen through our upper thoracic to get the neck nice and long. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. I'm timing this one, 45 more seconds. So it's just a little less stable doing a plank on the roller, which can feel really hard and not fun. But an awesome ab exercise, great stability work. She's doing it perfect, of course. And we've just got 30 seconds left here. Now, if you needed to tap down to the knees at any point here, please protect your low back. Keep your low abs strong as best you can. And just last 15 seconds, about 4 breaths. And 3 breaths. And 2 breaths. And 1 breath. Tap down to the knees. If you need a child's pose here, just stretch out your back. May be a great idea. Little love. And then come on back up. This one I sort of made up, sort of not. Twisted elephant. So based on the name, you're gonna stand up on your feet. Your hands are still down on the roller. In that situation, it's really important to plug your shoulder blades in and squeeze your rib cage. So we're gonna do just as the name would indicate, stretch the right arm up toward the ceiling, keeping the left on. This is where things can get a little bit difficult. Beautiful rotation. Exhale, twist it through. And we'll do 2 more on that side, and then we'll do 3 on the other side. If you're able and you can work a little more advanced, you're welcome to sweep through, twisting, beautiful, toward Winston the skeleton. He's still back there. 1 more, inhale up and exhale, twisting it through. And then we'll hit the other side. I promise to break for a stretch here momentarily. Inhale, twisting out to the left. And exhale, squeezing to twist the rib cage through. And 2 more, please. And final one. Nice. Both hands on for stability and security. Maybe walking the feet forward is helpful, or even pulling the roller in. And just enjoy a nice elephant stretch here. We're going to go into some more bridging work. So let's give the hamstrings a little love first. Just about 4 more breaths here. Remember, holding a stretch over 30 seconds is usually best if you like dynamic flow. Bending the knees, straightening the legs is great too. Sometimes that feels great for certain people. And 2 more. And last one, come down to the knees all the way. We're gonna do one more thing here on the tummy. I would say suggesting coming to the forearms is probably best here. Getting a bit more into the sling system stuff. Just one more I feel like this is a super advanced one. Legs back nice and long. Lifting the right foot in the air. We're just going to go into single leg circles. So 8 tiny circles, keeping the hips as stable as possible. 6 and a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and 1 reverse. We're going to repeat single leg circles later, but I want you to feel like this is the hard version. The other one will be easy. And 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Just a little more time in the plank. 3, 2, reverse, 8 more, other direction, 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2, and tap the knees down. Another child's pose if needed. And we're back on the roller, lying on your backs again, head and tail on as we began. And we're gonna go into 2 versions of a bridge. One will be articulating bridge, the second will be a neutral bridge. Making sure your heels are right under your knees, right? The feet are hip distance, all 10 toes are spread wide. Shoulders on your back. Inhale, draw the low belly in to pull the weight of your tailbone up, slowly peeling up as the ribs stay connected. This is your articulating bridge. Thinking of reaching the hips away as you roll your spine down. Good, we'll do 5 more of this one. Inhale, belly in strong. Exhale, peel it up. If you have any tension in your neck and shoulders, remember, relax that away, rolling all the way down. And every time you're down, take that as a break in the low back. So we're recruiting glute muscles, hamstrings, torso, backs of the arms. Should not feel this in your low back. If you do, I want you to pause through this series and hit up the next one, which will be your neutral bridge. Rolling down, 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 down. I think this should be 5 or 6. Last one, rolling up. And all the way back down. Now the hips will go up all together. Everything's still pulling into midline for Laura. Hips up high. She's gonna reach down with her tailbone first. This is your neutral bridge. 6 of those nice and slow. Usually folks feel more glutes and hamstrings in this version. And again, if you have that low back thing, this should be okay. If not, just pause through this. I think 2 more, and lower, and 1 more, and lower. Now the easier version of single leg circles, extend the right leg up toward the ceiling. Reach your tailbone down all the way to the end of the mat, or sorry, to the end of your roller, and the mat too, why not? Yeah, right, so you're imagining that. So the tailbone goes as long as possible. Bend your knee joint if it's way too much in the thigh or the hip flexors, and then execute 8 small circles. I notice it's really difficult to go hard on this one or big on this one, so keep them nice and small. Beautiful. Again, checking the ribs, neck and shoulders soft, and reverse it other direction. Almost didn't give you enough space, sorry. And 2, and 3. Get as much length out of your tailbone as you can. 4. I find that makes the exercise much more difficult, but that's how we should really be doing everything, with as much length as possible. And yes, good. So a little treat on that side. Maybe extend that arm up, or sorry, that leg up and the arm. And then pop the arm behind the hamstring and give it a nice little stretch. And then this is also working stability at the same time. Let's hold this for about 30 seconds. Nice. Tailbone reaching away. If you have tension in your neck, you can do same arm, same leg, which is actually a little bit harder. And fast forwarding 15 seconds. Nice, 2 more big breaths. Final one, and please switch it out. Giving the hamstrings some necessary love. I find that most human hamstrings just really don't know what they're supposed to do, so all of this attention to them is necessary. 3, beautiful, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. Final one, 8, and reverse. Down, around, and up, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, final one, 8. Catch it at the top with opposite arm. Give your hamstring some love. Shoulders down, beautiful corrections. Obviously I have to give her too many corrections because she's a teacher, so. But trying to say them anyways for those of you that still need some little corrections. Reach with as much length as you can, breathing deeply, consistently, persistently, and 4 more breaths here should do it. And 2 more. Final one. Next, we're going to use the roller on the arms for an assisted swan. Now, I really love this version of swan. Again, she'll come off and we're going to turn around. I like to go to mid-forearms with my arms extended above head. For some of you, that might not be a doable situation to get out of your upper traps. If that's the case, then I suggest bending elbows so you can slide your scapula down and away. Don't over clench her on the low back. Instead, she's going to pull in her inner core, and then she's going to apply some gentle pressure down with forearms. As she does that, that's going to pull her shoulders down and give her leverage to lift up through cervical spine, nodding the chin forward, lifting up with some strength, applying pressure down. Good. Ribs stay connected. And the low back nice and long and protected to your best ability. If you feel this in the low back, don't go up so high. And exhale, articulating down. I would say let's execute 4 more of these. Nice and slow. Give yourself some chest stretch. Pull your scapula toward each other. Pull your heart through. Beautiful. Good. Here's an extra credit challenge. Can you get your shins to press down so that you're not hyperextending the knees so much, right? So shins press down, that should give you more leverage to pull your belly in, right? Then backs of the knees soft, and then spread all 10 toes wide. Yep. And exhale. Good. So if you have really tight quads, the shins are not going to push down so easy. Just be patient with yourself. Inhale, nod the chin, float it up. And exhale, peeling the swan back down. Really good extension. Back feeling okay, Laura? One more, please. Inhale, nod the chin, lift it up. Probably your extension's not going to be that high for most of you at home. And exhale, take it back down. Nice and slow and slow and slow and slow. This is where it'd be a good idea to maybe take another child's pose. And let's actually, before we move on, roll out our quads. And then we're gonna revisit some more rolling later. So since it's here and it's convenient, pop that roller underneath your legs. Remember to avoid the knee joints, and you have 4 quadriceps on each side. So external and internal rotation is a good idea here. Working in parallel legs too. Just explore what you've got going on in your quadriceps. As we start to go into a twist, we're going to do a seated mermaid twist utilizing the roller, which feels delicious. Sometimes the hips and legs inhibit that range, so just kind of working through that. Let's do about 30 more seconds here. Sometimes it takes a little bit for your inhibitors to shut down. I hope you all have been enjoying the other snippets that Laura's been posting. There's going to be more to come for sure. And about 10 more seconds. Oops. That's okay. If you're done, you're done too. No worries. All right, so the mermaid twist is an interesting one. Now, you can go too far and too hard with this one, so just be really cautious. So she's gonna sit facing camera side. Her shins are bent toward that mirror.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them, good. And then if that doesn't feel possible for you, spread your knees wider. So the wider the base, the more beginner it is. Okay, so both the arms are gonna go onto the roller as she's in a twist. So this is already a really big deal. She's careful to keep lifting from her low abs, so when she rolls the roller out to her side, she doesn't collapse any part of the spine in rotation. So arms roll out, head reaches, dives forward, shoulders stay plugged in. You can almost go into chin tuck here, which feels kind of good. Tuck your chin down. Yeah, there you go. And then she's gonna pull in from here. So I find this one to be extreme kind of a twist situation, which feels really lovely. Keep your lower abdominals in. So you want to feel the work of the obliques as well as maybe a really big stretch somewhere else in the back. And just about 3 more. So if your lats aren't strong, this one's not going to be fun. Keep it small. She has really strong back and shoulder muscles and the core pulling her up. Nice. And then just reach out and hold. Reach out and hold from a place that feels comfortable. You're not going to have someone at home to do this to you. If you do, then great. That's awesome. And when you feel sufficient stretch, take your time, Laura, all the time you need. We'll take the roller, flip it over, flip the feet, second side. Again, keeping that inner core activation really present the whole time. This is sort of a dichotomy, one of my favorites of a lot of work and stretch simultaneously. Inhale, and belly pulls you in. Nice. I hope you guys took my advice and got your foam rollers, if you didn't have one already. Probably one of the least expensive pieces of Pilates equipment I think everybody should have in front of their TV at least, right? And just a couple more. One more time, reaching out to enjoy a stretch. And if you don't have someone to pull on your top hip at home, just try and reach out in that direction by yourself. So it takes heaviness on one end to truly stretch something open on the other. All right, now we are down to the rolling portion. We're gonna start on the glutes. She's just going to be seated on the roller with her legs extended out long, whichever way. And then I say choose a butt side. You wanna start on the right, you wanna start on the left, and we're gonna go down that leg. Okay, so she'll tilt to the right, that's great. Massaging out in the glutes. Remember, you can go a little high or right to the top of the crest of the hip, because that's still glutes. And I say spend at least 30 seconds, if not a little longer, and each dedicated to each little area. How's How's that feeling? Pretty good?
Feels good.
All right. So now she's gonna sit up and go into those hamstrings. So keep in mind you got 3 hamstrings. I recommend a straight right leg, dorsiflex hard on the ankle, right? And then rolling up and down. Neutral pelvis here if you can, because that will actually pull more length into the tops of the hamstrings and give you more sensation. Remembering to roll around in there, you got 3 hamstrings. $30 seconds here, maybe 15 more or so. If you're really sore, do a minute on each dedicated area. And then this one is usually especially terrible for me. Let's go on down to the calf muscle on that side. If you need to get some more sensation, you'll cross your left heel over your right ankle, lift your hips in the air, so you're still working those underarm muscles. And rolling to the outside of the calf, or the inside. 30 seconds here. So the foam roller is a really useful tool. You can use it for massaging and working out tissue tightness, as well as a lot of stability exercises. We only brushed on a few today. Yep. Giving those lower legs some love. And then we'll go ahead and just keep rolling to the right, and then she's gonna go up above her knee to hit the IT band. So top leg can cross over the front, sorry. If you're like, I roll my IT bands out every day, then both your legs stack. That's like never me. Like that. She's brave. Make sure to avoid your knee joint. You definitely want to stop before that. Never, never on the knees. Anywhere on the side of the hip is great. And just about 10 more seconds here, and we'll complete the other leg.
Don't pause for this one.
Are you finished? Okay, cool. Other side. I know, I was kind of getting the feeling she was like into something, so I didn't want to stop her. I guessed wrong. Lean over onto the left side. Like, I've been doing this long enough. Nobody wants to pause in their IT bands. That's never a thing. Massaging out in the glutes, any place on the glutes is great. Just exploring too. You might have a knot you want to pause at and take a few extra breaths. Foam rolling, you never love it while you're doing it, but it's always a good thing when you're done. It feels terrific. And we'll hit up the hamstrings on the left side. It's important to pull your spinal posture up really tall. Out. For super tight hamstrings, you can do both at one time, because then it takes some of the pressure off of one. Same thing for the calves. It's a little bit more doable if you're really, really tight to do both at one time. About 10 more seconds here. We'll travel down the leg onto the calf muscle next. Yeah, usually the calves will surprise you. You know the IT band's coming, but the calves can be surprising. And don't forget to breathe. I had a yoga teacher, one of my first yoga teachers, that would say, If you stop breathing, your body thinks it's dying. So that means people keep breathing. She was right in a way. And last but not least, the terrible IT band on the second side. You don't want to be walking crooked, so let's go ahead and do it. I promise not to zone out too much on this one. And lots of pressure, less pressure, knee folded, the top leg will bend, and your foot's in the front, yep. And just about 15 more seconds on this side. Remember not to ever go to the knee joint, but if you need to go a little lower, you can go all the way down above your knee. Save the worst for last, honestly. This is the last stop on the foam roller mat work. 30-minute session for today. We might have gone over 30 minutes. That's kind of my MO. Like to talk a lot. How do you feel, Laura?
I feel good. That was
Yay.
great. Thank you, guys.
See you soon.